Yo people, welcome back to another video. Now let's talk about that atrocious botch that we saw on Friday Night Smackdown, which was arguably one of the worst botches ever seen for a main event title match. As soon as that botch happened, WWE fans went into meltdown on social media. Boos even started ringing out of the arena because of how bad it was, and blame started flying around towards different people. So I'm going to be giving you my opinion as to who is in the blame for this whole situation. Now let's remember, Jade Cargill got busted open after a previous botch, and that accident threw a spanner in the works for the rest of the match, because they may have had to cut the match shorter or whatever the case is because of this whole incident. But one thing I'll say about that first botch is that I think Nia Jax did throw Jade Cargill with a bit too much power towards the stairs, and Jade obviously didn't have enough space to adjust her feet and stop the momentum, or really just adjust her body in any way, shape or form. So then she ended up hitting her face off the stairs. Now this is a potential blessing in disguise for Jade Cargill in my opinion, because she just gained a whole load of respect and a whole load of fans from this one cut that she got. So this could actually end up being something that actually puts a rocket on her back instead of this fabricated PR that Triple H was trying to feed us earlier on in the year. Anyways, because of that one botch, it led to another botch which was a lot more detrimental and controversial, which happened at the end of the match. And I think that the referee, based off of face value, is the one responsible, because she's the one getting spoken to by production through her earpiece. They're now the ones instructing her how to operate the match, what should happen in the match, and it's her job to get that information across to the wrestlers, especially when you enter the improvisation territory. Now hypothetically, let's say that production said stick to the same finish, then it's even more on the referee, because she's in charge of communicating to the wrestlers. This is what they're telling me, we stick to this, we need to do this, cut about 2 minutes of the match and make sure that this happens. And in my opinion, there was some sort of change with this whole botch that happened with Jade Cargill originally. The second botch ends up happening purely because of miscommunication and lack of improvisation with everyone in the ring. So I think they have to share the responsibility across Tiffany Stratton, the referee, and Nia Jax. Based off of viewing it once, I actually thought it was the referee because she didn't count to 3. However, let's actually take a look at the finish and break it down. So based off of what we saw, it looks like what should have happened was that Jade Cargill is supposed to pin Nia Jax, then Tiffany kicks Jade out of the way, steals the pin, 1, 2, 3, and she retains. However, because Tiffany was late to break up the pin, Nia Jax was actually forced to kick out, because if not, Jade would have become champion, and we already know that would have been a whole mess up. As much as I wanted to see Jade win, that's not what they wanted to do. We obviously know Tiffany was meant to win. So as of right now, the botch is on Tiffany Stratton for being late and forcing Nia Jax to have to improvise by kicking out. We even see Nia looking for Tiffany. Where is she? As she's getting pinned, she's scanning, she's trying to find her, and she can't risk it, so she has to kick out. After Nia kicks out, Tiffany then decides it would be a smart idea to pin Nia, which is again Tiffany's fault, because at this very moment, pinning Nia is pointless. She just kicked out of 2, so why would she not kick out later on after 5 seconds, 6 seconds, especially without any attacks? What should have happened is, as soon as Tiffany broke up the pin and Jade rolled out of the way, she should have gone to the top rope, hit her moonsault, so that it would be undeniably obvious to the referee, to Nia Jax, to everyone, that that was the final move of the match. 1, 2, 3, you win the title, problem solved. However, because that didn't happen, and instead Tiffany went for a pin after Nia had kicked out, this just created more confusion between Nia Jax and the referee, which led to Nia not kicking out, which she should have for consistency, and so that her character doesn't look stupid for kicking out at 2 and not kicking out at 6 after 0 attacks were hit on her after she kicked out. This, in my opinion, then becomes a Nia Jax problem, because she logically should have kicked out, even though she was probably trying to stick to the original finish, but at that point it didn't make sense to do so, because she had just kicked out 2 seconds earlier because Tiffany Stratton was late. This is where the elite wrestlers stand out, because of improvisation. This is also where the referee should have been very clear with the communication throughout, but I don't blame the referee for not doing the 3 count. This is on Nia for not kicking out, but Nia got put into this predicament because of Tiffany Stratton ultimately arriving late. So in my opinion, the blame starts with Tiffany Stratton, and because of her, it then creates a domino effect of problems and miscommunication, which again, the referee holds a bit of accountability with the miscommunication aspect. Nia and the referee ultimately start catching heat now because of Tiffany arriving late. Overall, for this whole incident, what it's done, it's not a blame game, you did this, you did this. The fact that there's so many culprits only highlights that Nia Jax is not a top wrestler as much as Triple H wants to force her onto us. And by the way, I don't mind Nia. I think that she's overhated and she's a quick scapegoat for any situation, but this situation isn't purely on her. This also exposes that Tiffany Stratton is not ready for the big time on a consistent basis, not as much as she's been forced onto us this year. This is yet another example of her folding under pressure when asked to improvise, just like when she made things personal with Charlotte Flair for the WrestleMania promo when she was mentioning divorces. I actually think Tiffany has a lot of potential. She's not quite Rhea Ripley, where there's a lot more potential that has been achieved already, but she can reach those levels. Earlier this year, she was very over. Even the back end of last year, she was very over. She was doing her thing. That was her best time. I think her best work is as a heel. But overall, I've said it for a few months now, Tiffany's reign has been boring. She's not main event material yet. She can't cut promos. Her matches are a bit choppy and it comes with additional botches along the way. She can't do storytelling in the ring. Her gimmick, if she even has one, is very boring and inconsistent, and she still has a long way to go as a face. If she goes into being a heel again, I can understand and I think her work will improve a lot more, but somehow she has managed to hold on to that title for about 9 months and is undefeated in 2025 with all of this that she cannot do, and somehow she's being promoted and branded to us as this main event star for SmackDown, which in my opinion she isn't. On top of that, if you have any criticism of Tiffany Stratton the character, she fights back online over the character's work because she takes things personally. She sees things as personal insults. But that's a character. You're not really Tiffany Stratton in real life. You don't go walking around in the shopping center saying it's Tiffy time. You don't do that, so don't take things personally. But again, it shows that she spends a lot of time on social media. How about improve the promo work? At the end of the day, this is just life under Triple H's favoritism, with all the propaganda blocking out the truth and trying to censor anyone that has an opinion that goes against what Triple H wants. Over here on this channel, we see past the smoke bombs. We see past the fraudulence. We ain't gonna get caught in all the hype, all the PR, all of that stuff. SmackDown in general, by the way, has had a poor women's roster because most of the consistent stars and the relevant people are over on Monday Night Raw. That's a whole different conversation, but that's one reason as to why Tiffany Stratton has held on to that belt for so long. I'm pretty sure she's had about 4 title defenses against Nia Jax across the whole year. That's boring, that's stale, but that's Triple H's booking. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Who do you think is at fault for the botch at the end of that triple threat match for the women's WWE Championship? Whatever you want to talk about, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what other content you'd want to see as well. And I'd also appreciate if you could leave a like on the video, sub to the channel, and thank you for your time.